This here is live. If we can get the picture up for you, that's the haze over Rockdale County and surrounding areas. It's thick as emergency management in various communities monitor where the chemical cloud is going next. We're following the latest on the fire and its impact. Newton County schools will be open tomorrow, but students and staff will have a 2-hour delayed start.
There are several lawsuits and complaints against BioLab, the company that owns a factory responsible for the chemical fire and smoke plume in Rockdale County.
And tonight, Rockdale County leaders are recommending everyone shelter in place during the nighttime hours because of the smoke plume. The shelter in place recommendation lasts from 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. and it's being recommended through Friday. And thousands of residents in Rockdale County are demanding answers after that fire.
Channel 2's Michael Seiden live now in Rockdale for us, miles from the plant, but still major issues. Michael, what's it like out there right now? It's 11:02.
George, honestly, it feels like I'm standing in a big indoor pool right now. The chlorine is really potent. In fact, this is the first time in the last 2 hours I've actually taken my mask off. Also, I can tell you my eyes are burning a little bit. And then take a look again. I know we just showed our viewers this, but again, you see that haze, and this is what drivers have been dealing with all evening long. This was the scene on Tuesday night in Rockdale County as we watched dozens of drivers navigate the huge plumes of chlorine-filled smoke that's been consuming the city of Conyers and surrounding areas since Sunday's chemical plant fire. Earlier in the evening, we stopped by Johnson Park where we met Rockdale County residents like Victoria Rogers, who came out to get their workouts in despite warnings from health leaders to shelter in place.
I'm not going to be out here as long as I normally try to be.
Right.
I might do one more lap.
Rogers says she was out running her errands on Sunday afternoon when she snapped these photos from her car. When you saw that, what'd you think?
Honestly, I thought Jesus was coming back.
She says she drove home and within hours the smell of chlorine had consumed her apartment. In fact, it got so bad, she says she had no choice but to evacuate.
Something got to be done about it because it was a big inconvenience for a lot of people. Like me, I missed work yesterday.
And she's not alone. This afternoon, my colleague Tom Jones spoke with neighbors who weren't shy about sharing their feelings.
The drugstore was closed yesterday. That drugstore.
You couldn't get here?
Couldn't get in.
The county held a news conference where the fire chief said an initial plan to remove the chemicals causing the problem at the plant failed.
The new plan now is to bring in rolling containers to offload some of the product a little at a time.
The county said the air quality isn't hazardous. As for the water supply,
I can safely tell you that our water here in Rockdale County is safe to drink.
Yeah, and back out here live again, we are actually in a parking lot of a shopping center here. A number of restaurants, including Chick-fil-A, actually had to close early tonight. That's because their employees tell us as they're running the AC, that chlorine is coming into their businesses and just making it too unbearable for them to continue to work.
Michael Seiden live for us now in Rockdale County. Thank you so much, Michael. Go put that mask on and be safe. So stop and take a look at this. We came over here to show you this video. It's from today at sunset. This is Conyers, by the way. It's roughly the same location where we just saw Michael live for his report. It gives you perspective. Look at that. That is that haze we're talking about, just how prevalent that haze is tonight. Smoke from the plant has been shifting since the fire started Sunday. Sunday, emergency management issued a shelter-in-place order to protect families living in the area. Monday, a smoky haze stretched across parts of the metro. Wind carried the plume from city to city. It prompted local communities to issue their own alerts. Today, smoke continues to pour from the BioLab building. So right now, a shelter-in-place recommendation is in place until 7 o'clock in the morning.
Those overnight hours, George, may be the more dangerous ones with the chemicals in the air. New at 11, I talked with a civil and environmental engineer at Georgia Tech who is monitoring the pollutant levels and expects once that source stops, issues will rapidly decrease. The smoke is still thick. That's how Smilin' Mark McKay with Triple Team Traffic described the plume over Rockdale County Tuesday morning from Sunday's BioLab chemical plant fire. Georgia Tech environmental engineering professor Ted Russell told me wind will disperse the gas and a sunny day helps.
The sunlight destroys it. It'll attack the chlorine molecules and break it apart.
That happens during the day, but at night.
So you're going to have the potential for it to build up more.
Especially if the source is not controlled. Dr. Jane Morgan with Hello Heart describes what exposure to the chemicals may feel like.
You know, you can certainly start to have lung problems and some difficulty breathing, but even on mild cases, you may have a little bit of your asthma flare up or irritation of the lungs, but also skin irritation and irritation in your nose.
The closer you get to the source, the more concern, particularly at night.
When more pollutants get trapped near the ground. BioLab's plant fire creating a learning environment for the air pollution scientist and his students who are taking air readings to learn.
What other pollutants might be out there? What other compounds might be associated with this plume?
And so today, the health department explained what to do if you start to feel various symptoms, and they include, obviously, staying indoors. Other suggestions and new developments, as we get them, you'll find them on WSB-TV.com.